All right. My good brother, Ace Rios, what's good, man?
What's going down, man? What's happening?
I'm excited. Um, Let me tell you why I'm excited. First
Okay.
of all, um, I'm excited because first of all, we're back doing relatable.
Right.
Um, that was for me. That was always oh shoot. That was always super fun for me. Every time we got together, it was always a lot of laughs, a lot of great conversation. We had some really great episodes, and I didn't want that to stop. I know people got a lot from that, even whether we went serious or joked all the way. And I'm just excited to get it back going. And also, I want to first of all give you your flowers um, because you're doing an amazing job in the content space. First of all, let me say that you being consistent, dedicated, and motivated, and it's inspiring for cats like myself who are looking up at you doing the work. Even when I feel like I'm tired or I don't know what I want to talk about, I can look at you and like Rios is actually figuring it out. He going hard every day, figuring it out. So I salute to you, my brother. You're doing amazing work, and I just thank you for allowing me the space to even be here with you to share the space with you. I've been having an awesome time, and I think the people will be blessed if we just continue on this road for this podcast to get bigger and bigger and better. So, thank you, thank you.
No, thank you for saying that. I appreciate that. I really, really do. Um, but thank you for being a blessing in my life because everything that you're saying about me is the same for you. Like you really have brought a lot into me, brought a lot to my life and the program and what I'm trying to do. And we're all trying to find our feet out here, right? Like we're all a work in progress. And so we're all figuring it out together. And for you to take a chance and be like, you know what, Rios, I'll come over there and I'll mess with you and we'll figure this out. And it's only God's timing and only God can do things like this. And so I appreciate you. I appreciate that God has brought us together to be blessings in each other's lives. And so we here, man, and we making it work and we doing the most with what we got. And so
Yes, sir.
everybody on YouTube on my page, I'm about to close out. Go over to Good Luck's channel and watch it over there. I'm out.
Yeah, man. And let me also tell you, man. I've been doing lives. I've been doing interviews, pretty consistent, and just having great conversations with a lot of dope people. I actually got a live I'm doing tonight. So 7 p.m. I'll be on there with 211. I'm
211.
interviewing 211 tonight, 7 p.m., which I'm pretty excited about. Um, the Ghetto Cafe been holding me down. I'm gonna keep it all the way real with you, bro. They've
That's
been showing up every live. They've been showing up. A small few of them. I don't mean the whole Ghetto Cafe, but first of all,
yeah,
salute the whole Ghetto Cafe, because they show up and they support. So salute. But I do want to say they've been over here showing me love, really supporting me, really doing an awesome job with not leaving me out there by myself. Basically,
hey,
trying to gain a
let's
following,
go.
get what I mean. So salute to the Ghetto Cafe, man. They always hold me down, man. I love y'all, and I mean that because it's tough talking into a camera to yourself.
Right.
It's tough. You know what
It
I
ain't
mean?
easy.
You know what I mean? So now Rios, now he got thousands of followers, but he know, like I know, what it was like to just be talking to the camera and nobody's in here, right? Trying
Exactly.
to build something. You know what I mean? So salute to y'all, man, for holding me down, man. It's been amazing. I'm looking forward to just keep making dope episodes and good episodes, and I'm looking forward to this episode. We got a lot to talk about.
Right. It's a
Um,
lot going on.
it's a lot going on, bro. It's a lot going on, but I feel like obviously my opinion is my opinion, but as far as some of the things we're going to talk about, I don't feel like I've heard my opinion just yet. Like I haven't really heard anybody not that I disagree or agree, just from my perspective, I haven't heard it yet. So I'm
Right.
interested in getting into that as far as with a couple of these topics, not just obviously we're going to talk about what's going on with the rap stuff, right? But
Mhm.
it's been pretty cool to see it. I haven't done this in a while anyway, where I reported on like current events. So um, yeah, I'm excited.
Good.
So
You should
what
be.
have you been up to?
I've been pretty much just the regular old scheduling program, just doing what I'm doing, the AM wake up show. We got the syndicate now with me, Trey, and Manny
Shout out
on
to y'all for that. Congrats. Yeah.
yeah, so that's something I'm really proud of, that I got going with my day ones. And it's just we're sharing a side that I don't think that they've gotten to see of Manny and Trey, they've gotten to see that side of me, but they
Right.
don't know like the different levels, the depth, the more than just surface level of Trey and
Yeah.
Manny, and creating a space here where they can be themselves. So that's really what I've been doing, and I feel like I've been racking my brain, just like trying to go hard, and really not just for me, but just for like everybody else. And I wake up every day and say, what is it that I can do to help those around me? What can I do to help? What can I do to help promote, boost, whatever it is that my friends, my loved ones are trying to do? Because it's not about me. I think God has blessed me and given me many blessings. And so in turn, I'm trying to turn myself into a blessing for others, so that's where we're at.
You moving like I must say, man, you moving like a real CEO, a real boss, right? And I don't mean a boss who just delegates and tell people what to do and just send people on missions, right?
Right.
I'm talking about one who is actively out here doing the work and also putting people in position to make moves for themselves. And you share your platform, you share your network with people. I'm one of them, right? And so you're doing an amazing job with doing the work. And I think, to your point, God has put you in a situation to, well, first you put your trust in God to just quit all your stuff, your jobs. Right.
Right.
First of all, that's a leap in
Say,
itself.
here, Lord.
That's a leap in itself people don't want to take, right?
Right.
That jump off that cliff, right? And you jumped off that cliff and hit the ground running. Now you have consistent shows. You got a consistent following. I see you on Kick Gaming now. I don't know if you're on Twitch. Are you on Twitch?
I'm not. I have a Twitch, but I haven't gone on Twitch yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess I've signed up for a Twitch also, but I see you actively doing the work on other platforms. So the fact that we got this, not only we get to sit back and watch, we get to join. So
Right.
that's dope for myself, and I'm sure the fellas and the ladies too, who are watching you build this network. You a boss, man. It is what it is. That's what it is, bro. And you're doing a great job. You, like I said, you're not one of the ones who just sending people on missions. You out there doing the dirt with them. So that's a good thing. You know what I mean?
And it's like my struggles. I feel like if I struggle to do something, or if I figure something out and it was difficult, I don't feel like everybody else should have to go through that same struggle. Like, why not ease the pain or ease people? Like, oh, no, this is what's going to happen. And then you have to do this. This may come up and this may come up. And when that does happen, this is what I did to figure it out, or how I got past that. And it's just like, just looking at everybody. And now I'm sober, right? Like, so I'm sober now. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't do anything.
Congrats. How long has it
been? Like 3 years. Like 3
awesome.
years.
Congrats. Yeah. Hey, fam. That deserves an applause, bro.
Thank you, brother.
That's amazing. And I don't want to just shy over that, because that's a it's a thing. It's a testament to like where your life is going. 3 years ago, when did you get into podcasting with Ace Boys exactly?
Like 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Like 2
so
years ago, yeah.
So look what's going on. You stopped drinking 3 years ago, right? You move into a podcasting space, which was new for you, I'm assuming, right?
For sure.
Y'all hit the ground running, made a name for yourself. You are one of the guys on the West Coast who do podcasting. Then you broke off and did your own thing, and now you have a platform that you're sharing with other people so they can build and move out on themselves.
Yeah.
All that in that short amount of time. And you did the work on yourself so you can be mentally in the right place to do that, consciously in the right place to do these things. Right. So, it's funny. In hindsight, it's 2020, right? But when you look at the beginning of that, sometimes you don't see how perfectly that's mapped out. Right. Yes, there's struggles, there's ups and downs, and there's things you can go through. You're going to go through marital stuff, friend stuff, homie issues, job stuff. But when you look back, it was like a perfect song that went the way it went, and you just playing it out at this point. So that's amazing. Congrats on that. That's huge.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. And sometimes it's not to understand why. Sometimes you don't need to ask God, why is this happening, or what is this for? Just move with the spirit. And like, I wouldn't have known, because if I'd have been drinking and smoking, my wife wouldn't have let me do Ace Boys Worldwide.
Right.
Would have been,
no.
She'd have been like driving home late and drinking and this and that.
Yeah,
That alone would have been keeping her up at night, and was just like, no, this is not going to work for us and what we got going on. So you never know what God is working out and what he's moving on your chessboard that he's moving it for a reason. And I never knew it would have led to this, but I thank God that it did, you know?
For sure. And you're doing a great job, man. Keep going too. So anything I can do to help, support, resources, whatever, you already know I'm a phone call away. Tap in. I got you. It's nothing, no questions asked. And I'm a cheerleader, bro. I'm no pause, nothing needed. I'm a cheerleader for my homies and my friends who I support, and I want you to just keep going and keep tearing it up, because we need cats like yourself in this space. I always tell you how you're different. I'm not saying different from what, but you and I know that you are different. You know what I mean? And cats like yourself are needed in this space, because you consistently pour positivity into anybody that's around you, right? And that should be always applauded. Straight up,
you, brother. Thank you,
straight
brother.
up. Where you want to start, man? What topic do you want to start today? Where do you want to start at?
Ooh,
got a couple for sure.
It's a couple. Let's start in the good space. Let's not just start off with the criminal stuff. Let's start off.
Right.
Let's not start off with courtrooms and jail and this and that. Let's start off with how do you feel about what's going on right now with rap and hip hop, and people coming back to battle rapping almost like it's familiar. I recognize this I recognize what's going on right now. For a long time, I'm looking at music and looking at rap, and I don't know if it was just because I was old, but it wasn't recognizable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now I'm seeing it's like, oh, okay, they going back and forth. It's cool. It's not too crazy. It's like jabs and it's competitive. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's no temperament.
I love the breath of fresh air of what they're doing, you know, and giving the people an opportunity to be like, well, I didn't like that. I like this. I didn't like this about it, this and that. And you get to see this new generation has a different outlook of how they're measuring or how they're judging. So I think it's dope for hip hop culture in general.
100%. I think yes. So I miss the feeling of people in competition in rap, right? Because I say, and I don't mean this disrespectfully, it's just my words, for lack of better terms. We've been in a buddy system for a while with hip hop, right? Where everybody get along, everybody cool, which is fine. If there's no violence and stuff like that, I'm all for that, right? I don't want nobody going crazy and having beefs to where somebody want to kill somebody. I'm not none of that. I'm not saying none of that. But also, here's the other side of that. If we're in a buddy system, and now the spirit of competition has came back in the form of battling or battle rap, then the aggressive nature isn't so familiar to me.
Okay.
So now you may be cursing on record and talking about somebody's mama, right? But it still don't feel like hard hitting to me. And I don't mean, and I mean that from, this is really not gonna like me, right? But you said something that I agree with, because I thought that I was the only one who agreed with Gina views. I'm West Coast. First of all, my West Coast is never to be in question.
Right.
I've done too much for this side of town to ever be questioned about my West Coast anything. But I'm also fair, and I'm not blind, and I'm not deaf, right? And with that being said, I don't like much of the things I've been hearing from our side, in my opinion.
What are you not liking?
I don't think it's enough.
Right.
I think what happens is, respectfully, and I'm not talking about Daylight in this. Now I'm going to talk about Daylight, but what I'm about to say, I'm not talking about Daylight. Respectfully, the pups are at play. But Joey Badass, do not get it mistaken, that's a big dog.
Okay.
He's a veteran. We're not talking about a new MC here. We talk about people who are now, a lot of youngins who are watching rap now and getting into like the fandom of what this is. They may not know, but Pro Air is not a new group. They're veterans.
Okay.
And just because you've been seeing Joey Badass acting, don't mean that the spirit of competition has left him. And you're finding out the hard way on maybe the niggas at him ain't really on his level.
They're not as experienced.
Not as experienced, and it's not they don't know how to. They're doing what they know best, which is just grab a beat that you think somebody like or want to dance to, and then start busting, and then talk about him bad or however he gay, he this, he that, all these things they try to say. But if you look at Joey Badass from if you listen to the Finals or My Town or Crash Dummy, which Crash Dummy is my favorite. If you're looking at the sounds, right? Like when you listen to My Town, you listen to it reminds us of what the Heat Makers were doing for the Diplomats.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. That New York big sound is not up tempo because that wasn't their thing. Right? Crash Dummy was a double shot. Crash Dummy was I'm gonna dish you and I'm gonna dish you over y'all stuff. Right? But outside of that, if you listen to My Town and the Rulers backing up, they're doing real New York East Coast stuff. And it reminds me of a feeling of oh yeah, that's what that was like.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it was like when we had to get at them niggas. That's what it was like. Why you think when Crumb did New York, it was such a slow tempo record? He was doing what they was doing, showing them he's from Philly, but he a West Coast nigga. I'm from Philly, but I'm a West Coast nigga from the 60s, and I'm on this.
New York, big city of dreams.
You know what I'm saying? And so the feeling I'm getting from Joey Badass it's familiar, is what I'm trying to say. It's familiar. What Rayvon and them are doing, Rayvon and Reasons and some of the other new cats that a lot of people don't know his name.
AZ Chike.
I do know him, but that's not his arena.
Mm-mm.
I'm not saying, don't take this as disrespect. I've been doing this a long time. I'm not saying he don't have a right to say something. You can say anything you want.
Right.
But nigga, battling ain't your arena. It's not. It's just not. You make club records, street records, something turn up, that's your lane. You do that. Coming on that side, it's not your arena. And it sounds like it. And you also should have known that your name is too easy to deal with in this record. You got to know this stuff.
Yeah.
Right? It's like me getting ready to battle and I forget that the fat jokes is coming.
Right,
they coming.
Right. They coming.
Right? So I got to prepare myself and knowing how to deal with that. Right? So, but I've done this. I've done this on the East Coast. I've done this on the West Coast. I've done this with veterans. I've done this with new niggas. I battled when nobody was around. I battled when you could still find a cipher on the street. I battled on stages, in clubs, on West Coast Riders and Dub CNN, the old forums.
Mm-hmm.
I did it all. So when I speak on this, I'm not just talking.
Right. That's why I was so excited for this conversation, because I wanted to see somebody's opinion that's been in it. You know what I mean? That is familiar, been in it, and is aware of all of the different variables and aspects of challenging battle rapping, making a song that's a diss record, because really it's a diss record. It's not battle rap. You know what I mean? Like, it's a diss record. And if you're trying to be cute, it ain't gonna work.
So Cash knows. So Cash knows. He made a statement. See, let me clear up what I mean by that, because it's kind of like what you were saying. Cash knows says Joey not a battler. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying none other than Daylight. None of these niggas are. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is Joey is from the East Coast, where they were bred and raised in the spirit of that, in the spirit of MCing. So to be an MC and what he doing on record makes him that, right? Let me move this point to battle rapping and diss records too. You made a great point. I was telling one of my shout out to Justin Hunt, who does hip hop media as well. I was talking to him on the phone. I was telling him, here's the difference between niggas who make diss records and battle niggas, right? Mm-hmm. The hardest diss records in hip hop history have not been done by battle niggas. You want to take Not Like Us, you want to take No Vaseline, The Bitch in You, West Side Slaughterhouse, Come Clean by J. Rue Damager,
Ether.
Beans and Kiss going against each other. You want to take any of these niggas, that was doing them incredible records at the time. These are not battle niggas. Now, don't get me wrong. You may have seen Kiss in a battle or Beans in a battle. They're not battle niggas, though. They've been battle tested for sure. Daylight, 100% purebred battle nigga, right? Loaded Lux, battle nigga. Murder Mook, battle niggas, right? Why you think the niggas who are battle niggas never made the greatest diss song in hip hop history? They can't.
Oh.
The reason why you can't, because it's to go all the way being a battle nigga, you're prepped for the form of for the most part, not it's not law, but you're prepped for the form of most of the time acapella, where you can slow down your words, stop and start, wait for claps, you can change up your flows. There's no beat tempo to stick to. So I can rap this rap however I rap it.
Yeah.
Right? On song makers, niggas who make disc records who are over songs, no Vaseline, these are niggas who are songwriters first. And if you write songs first and just diss a nigga, everything's in pocket. It's the reason why you can play this music today and it bangs, and also it was dissing niggas, but you can't play. When is the last time you niggas played a Loaded Lux record?
Right.
And he's on a Mount Rushmore ballad. It's not a diss.
Yeah.
It's a fact.
It's a fact.
This ain't even my opinion. If Loaded Lux and Daylight are 2 of the ones, and let's say Murder Mook, right? If they're 3 of the ones on the Mount Rushmore of battle rappers, why neither one of the niggas have the greatest diss song in the history of rap?
Because they can't make they can't make the song.
It don't translate over the same. It don't. So the reason why you hear, it's not a diss, and this is my man, right? The reason why you hear Daylight when he dropped Word to the Mother, right? There's no drums damn near in the beat. They damn near got to take the drums out. Because if you keep the drums in there, you'll hear how out of pocket he is. For the beat. So you got to take the drums out because you'll end up being all over the place.
Right.
What happens is Daylight is already too complex for the average listener, right? So that's one, which is fine. That's a skill too. It's a skill too. I'm not mad at that. But he's already too complex for the average listener. And then now I gotta hear a beat under you, and that's fucking me up as a viewer who likes music. Also, it's messing me up because I gotta decipher the bars and wonder why the beat ain't on time.
Right.
So now it's off.
It doesn't sound clean. It's not clean. It's just
not clean. I can't hear it the way I'm supposed to hear it. So though you may be one of the illest battle niggas of all times, hands down, nobody's arguing with that. Whatever. There's a reason why the songs don't translate over. They're prepped for the stage. Right. Acapella, no beat. If I was Daylight is obviously a better battle rapper than I am. I was a battle nigga, but Daylight is, I've been stopped rapping. Let me just start there. So, but if I was Daylight, I would have stood tall in my arena. My arena is, nigga, I had a videographer videotape me and barred him up a cappella.
Right.
Just crazy edits in the video.
Oh,
that's what crazy edits in the video.
Dope.
That would everybody where people can hear you. You ain't got to clash with no beat. You can change the tempo up, slow, fast, do whatever you want, and you could have got that off. And it'd have been more of a knockout punch than you trying to rap over these 2 beats that nobody liked.
And
these beats ain't it.
That would have been raw.
That would have been raw, and that's your arena. Now here's the thing: Loaded Lux did a better job over a beat.
Yeah, he did.
On My Town,
he did
a better job. But nigga, that ain't his arena either, though. But he did do a better job. But ain't nobody listening to no Loaded Lux songs. That's not a diss.
It's a fact.
They're not.
It's a fact.
He's a god in battle rap. But nobody wants to hear the Loaded. I'm not banging Loaded Lux in the car. It's not what we doing. He's a god in battle rap, but we not. And if you think I'm lying, then you probably just ignoring the facts, right? Yeah. I don't have a dog. I have a dog in this fight because I'm a West Coast nigga. But also, my word is my word. I don't want to ever. You can't catch me lying on here for you to be like, oh, I'm not, because my word is everything. I don't want you guys listening to me and be thinking, oh, Lucc on BS. He don't keep it real. I love it. I'm West Coast nigga. I don't gotta. But to me, Crash Dummy was the best record of the whole thing.
I said the same thing, and I thought Crash Dummy and GoldenEye. Crash Dummy, then GoldenEye by Ray Vaughn.
So see,
Ray Vaughn is 2 with GoldenEye.
and I thought that was cool, but and obviously we disagree on because I like Nixon 6. I know you say you'll like it, but me, I like Nixon 6. I'm like here's the thing too.
What's
In my opinion,
what's the dude's name? I can't remember.
Kai Cash.
Kai Cash.
I like. Let me tell you, Kai Cash. So let me. So this is what I mean about pups. The pups are involved. So, Kai Cash. I'm sorry, Ray Vaughn and Reason them. They should be worried about him, not Joey Badass. Because when you hear Joey Badass talking to them niggas, it sound like the big homie talking to the little homies.
Yeah, he's sunning them.
Sunning them. And it's being said, people are saying it. I'm not the only one saying it. You say it. People are saying it. It sound like, oh, that's not your rank. He's shooting at Kendrick. Now he don't know he not Kendrick rank either, but
no, he
not y'all's. Y'all will be little homies. And I'm not mad at y'all because y'all supposed to shoot for whoever's up high. As an MC, you supposed to shoot it all down. I'm not mad at nobody going after what they're going after. But it's embarrassing because that's why people think the West Coast getting killed. Because Daylight, in my opinion, didn't show up twice. In my opinion. Daylight didn't show up twice. Not enough for people to, ain't nobody talking about it.
Yeah.
Like, and then people don't argue with me about this YouTuber. I watched my man Screwface. He made a great point about Daylight Records. He said the difference with Daylight is that Daylight is great on video, but not in the moment. And what he was saying was that Daylight is the rapper you got to listen to, dissect the bars. You'll find something later. Keep watching. You watch the video again. You'll get some punchlines you missed later. Oh, you'll get the double entendre. Oh, I didn't know he said that. But by the time you did all that, it's weeks later.
Yeah.
The battle done moved on. When Joey Badass making Crash Dummy, the beat bang, he using East Coast samples and West Coast samples, and then the hook is catchy. He damn near did what Kendrick did without it being a hit.
But that's what it was. And I was saying that like, oh, he's snatching shit. He's sounding like Kendrick at certain points in certain styles. He's like, I could do this. Which is him. That's him poking the bear, right? Which I'm not mad at. You know, I just think, in my opinion, I think niggas out their league. I don't think Daylight's out his league. I just think Daylight should do what Daylight does. Don't try to make song. Don't try to go song for song with niggas who make songs. Right. But the thing is I'm not even mad at Ray Vaughn or AZ Chike or anybody that's responding. There was another dude, I forget his name. Oh, Hitter J3 also replied, did something, Hitter J3. And there was but nobody did it take Gina to say, get up out y'all houses, get up in the streets and start rapping because Joey Badass is smashing. Who gonna answer? And so they answered the call. Nobody was answering the call.
I think here's the thing though. I think it's not the wrong people answering the call. It's just, look, man, and I start to sound like, and I love this about myself. I love getting older, right? But I don't want to ever sound like the old man. But if I'm becoming an old man, it is what it is, right? So I'm missing the days when I can literally close my eyes and point to a spitter over here on the West Coast. Where I can just point around, but oh, boom, maestro, problem, such a. I was pointing the nigga. Crooked eye, you know what I mean? Crooked Eye, like who's one of the best, and niggas don't want no problem with Crooked Eye. Nobody really don't want no problem with Crooked, right? So I hope he don't say nothing, right?
Yeah.
But what happened is we've been chasing Atlanta sound, chasing drill sound, tracing whatever trend have been going on for so long. We've gotten out of pocket and far away from lyricism, right? Kendrick is an anomaly, right? Where first of all, Kendrick came up with us. So he was just little. He was just smaller than us, and younger than us. But he came up with us. So he was there battling early on, doing ciphers in the projects. It's footage. It's documented, right? But a lot of these cats don't come up in that. They don't come up, it's just, that's not it's a different feeling.
They too busy trying to be cool.
Which is cool.
It was a
which
point
is
in
cool
time where you had to be grimy. Like you had to be with the business. You had to be grimy. Like, hey, we going
for
over
sure.
here and we about to get with the business. Like that's what we gonna do. And they gonna call your card. They gonna call you out. Be ready to answer the call. If you was a rapper,
Yeah,
you had to be ready to answer the call. Now they
100%.
say I ain't freestyling. I don't do that.
Because that's what I'm saying. They're getting away from that is it's the reason why people are so excited about this moment, because it seems as if battle rap is a lost art. I don't mean like the Smack Arena, Daylight Sim Arena. That's thriving. But on this side of like when Beans and Kiss was going at it, or when Hove and Nas was going at it, or when Cube and Common System was going at it, like those are moments that were you have to live through that and see that and feel what the temperament was like. But we've been out of that for a long time. And like I said, it's been so buddy buddy. Who had to do it? Nobody had to do it. That's why Kendrick came in and broke all this shit up.
Yeah.
He from that. You know what I mean? He tired of buddy buddy stuff. So Kendrick thing ain't what to divide the unity. It was to separate the real from the fake. Right? Just so happens a lot of the clown stuff was on the other side. Now, what happens is in this day and age with rap now, especially on the West Coast, who's going to step up to be the killer? Because if y'all getting sunned, as Reason or Rayvon or AZ Shike, if y'all getting sunned, then who steps up? And another problem is that it's not a problem. So because Joey Badass mentioned the West Coast first, and the unwritten law is don't mention the coast if it ain't about the whole coast.
Right.
Right. Don't try to say I wasn't dissing the whole coast. I meant that. No, you mentioned us, then it's everything, right? And they went back, the pups, and I don't mean that disrespectfully. I'm trying to, they went back to pups and made a New York thing, right? So now New York niggas on our ass, and it ain't looking good because because Kai Cash sound like a young nigga who grew up in the spirit of MCing and competition. It sounds like it.
And
right?
that's what they were saying in my chat. They were saying that in my chat, like New York, the MCs. I was like, well, just name some. But they was like, this is where the battle rap stuff is. But I think let's go to the root of where this came from. Where do you think this stemmed from? Because I always say, and what I've been saying, I'm not trying to be like get you gotcha, but we can't even celebrate our champion without somebody getting mad and saying, look at the LA cats. They so excited. Why y'all got Kendrick's name in your mouth? Because we celebrating. What's the problem with celebrating? And the diss and all that stuff stem from people telling us to stay in our place.
See, this is part of this is the problem right here, right? Shout out to Wave God for being in the chat and leaving a comment. I'm not mad at the comment, obviously, but that's actually part of the problem. Not him, the comment, not him, right?
Yeah.
The comment says the West don't even have that many people that can actually rap. One, that's false, right? And the thing is that if all the spitters actually came out and got with it, then it's gonna look like, oh, now it's officially West Coast New York, right? Because you forgot when we were bred up, we were bred on. So while you niggas, and I don't mean you, Wave God, I'm obviously not talking about you, but while you niggas was listening to NWA, Dog Pound, Death Row, and all, like I was too, but a lot of y'all missed and didn't even pay attention to Hyro, Razcast, Crooked Eye, Saphir, Casual, A+, didn't watch the youngest come up under that Maestro, cats like myself. Like, bro, there's tons of niggas who can spit. First of all, at that time, niggas didn't want no problem with Razcast. No. And now look at the generation. God. Look at the generation pool. Niggas don't want no problem with his sons. Coach Contra is them for 4 or 5.
Wait. Coach Contra is Razcast's kids?
The twins. Nigga, both of them Razcast's sons. Yes.
Him and the hands.
What? Dude, the twins.
I just pulled up a freestyle the other day, said, see, this is the kind of freestyle and this kind of rap I like.
They come from Razcast, bro. But now you get it. Now you understand why. They come from Razcast.
Oh, I like them even more.
His
Holy,
actual son.
lower than the midget on the knees. Like, all right.
Bro. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh,
so it's MCs this way. And Crooked Eye is one of the ones that a lot of niggas don't want no problem with.
I can't believe that right now. I'm actually really stunned right
Dude,
now.
when Razzcast dropped Solo Nights, getting on the way to his next record, Jay-Z was on the radio in New York, said Razzcast is one of the hardest niggas in the world. Period. It's documented.
For sure. And I know
You know
that
what I
for
mean?
sure.
So, you know, it's,
Bust in your ears so you can hear where I'm coming from.
you know,
I like Razzcast. It's a lot of people out here, but then like we don't. What about Absol? Like
let me
people
tell
say,
you where he made this mistake. I love Soul, and so my brother. Soul, in my opinion, again, Soul should have never, ever did that cipher with Joey Badass and Big Sean. In my opinion. Look, man, so, but here, now, this is the old man in me. I'm fine with being that. I'm fine with being the old, bitter dude. If my man's is Kendrick, that's my man, right? TDE, PG Lane connected, that's for life, that's my brother. That's my man for life. There's nobody barking at my man, and then I go do an orchestrated cipher with the nigga. I'm not standing next to you. I'm shooting. I'm not standing next to you. I'm busting.
right,
Pause.
right.
So I'm not doing no orchestrated. Like if I do find myself in a cipher with you, it's you don't know my verse. I don't know your verse, and we finna go at each other. Period. Ain't no like I know your verse because it's rehearsed and we tape this for the TV and we Big Sean knowing my ad libs and we're not doing none of that. That's out.
It's out the window. Like not even
That's
happening.
out. I don't come from that. I'm finna go stand next to the enemy while he barking at my man. He's still to this day taking shots at your man.
Right.
While you got rehearsed videos with this nigga. I'm not, and here's the thing, all three verses was dope. But it don't matter to me. I would have never been there to do it.
Right.
I would have never. Can't no nigga be killing Rios, dissing Rios, and then you go see me on the. We talked about that with the Magwap situation with
Right.
Adam 22.
Right.
You can't be on my man, and then I go do a podcast with you, right? We talked about that to keep it real. I'm gonna say it. We talked about that for the people who don't know. I did a podcast. I did Fair to Say early on, and I met Stat and the rest of the people who was on the thing. And Stat was real cool. And I met him that day. He was real cool. We exchanged numbers. And I don't watch Fair to Say. Honestly, I didn't watch Fair to Say, so I don't know what happened with the podcast after that. I just know he started his own thing. So now, right? I know he started his own thing. So when he started his own thing, I asked him, like, yo, man, you doing your thing? Keep going, man. And he said he was independent. I said, oh, now you in full control. Do your thing. I'm saluting you. Salute, man. I support. And then I see Rios did the AM wake up thing, and there was an issue, right? Now, first thing I did was, because my pedigree is, wait a minute, I just told Stat I want to do a podcast with him. But I need to ask Rios, well, hold up, Rios, is there an issue? Because you my mans. So I can't do that fresh off of you got an issue, right? So when we talk, we're not gonna talk about what we talked about, but Rios let me know, look, there ain't no issue like that. Something happened with them, whatever, but ain't no issue like that. That's fine. But I'm showing him, Rios, what kind of man I am. I'm not gonna pop up and do some podcast with somebody that he got problems with. I'm not standing next to a nigga my people's got problems with.
Right.
I'm old school in that, right? So back to the rap thing. So, in my opinion, again, was not supposed to never do that cipher. He wasn't. Don't stand next to a nigga shooting at my man. We not, that's not, because it ain't serious to the point where beef, but in rap beef is real. And I don't mean real like I'm emotionally attached after this. I mean like when I'm in the midst of gritting my teeth and spitting bars at you, I am a stranger.
Right. I don't know you.
I'm a stranger. I don't know you. Yeah, we cool in real life, but until this battle is over, I see blood. So that's, you know what I mean? So that's why, you know, and Soul is to your point, Soul is one of the illest spitters ever.
That's
right?
But now that we're there, okay, he made a mistake, you think, for joining the cipher. Bad look.
Yeah.
That's a bad look, something we wouldn't have done. But just off Take the cipher out of it.
Okay.
Ab-Soul, as a rapper, lyricist, what do you feel about Soul?
Wait, one more time? One more time?
How do you feel about Ab-Soul? Just in general, like just his capabilities. Because I looked at one of his freestyles the other day on LA Leakers, and I was kind of like blown away, like, oh shit. He might be more than what I thought he was. Like shit.
Soul is one of the greatest. That's what you asked me?
Yeah.
Soul is hands down one of the greatest. And let me tell you, the conversation
no hesitation. Soul is one of
the greatest, hands down. And these conversations are being held and had by some of the greatest MCs in the game, veteran and new niggas.
Really?
From dude, you got to understand. Remember Jay-Z tweeted about Ab-Soul. Ab-Soul is crazy.
What?
He's insane. People are getting the song thing. Look, man, Ab-Soul, in my opinion, when it comes to making songs, he's a you know how they say it's a what's a taste that's not for everybody? What they call it? What's the word for it? He's not eclectic, but like acquired. It's an acquired taste, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's not technically for everybody, but when it comes to the skill and technical skill of MCing, double entendre, triple entendre, similes, and metaphors, he's ridiculously smart,
right?
And been through a lot in his life, a lot of struggles, a lot of ups and downs, which I won't talk about here publicly. He'll have to talk. I'm sure he talked about it on it. He had talked about it on his album, but we talk about he is a weapon of mass destruction. He really is.
That's what I want to say. So look, coming from somebody who's on the inside, who was a great rapper, and look, he has just told y'all in the chat that the greats are having conversations and debates about how great Ab-Soul is. But then we still have somebody in the chat that would be like, Ab is good. He's not better than Daylight.
No, but that's, here's the thing. Here's the dope thing. Here's the dope thing about rap, right?
Things.
It's subjective.
Two different things.
Look, there's a nigga somewhere right now saying, I'm sure Michael Jordan was weak. You ain't gotta look. It's not a LeBron and Jordan debate. It ain't even gotta be that. There's a nigga somewhere like Jordan was weak. Somebody somewhere Kobe weak. Somebody somewhere Jay-Z ain't all that. Somebody somewhere like Snoop wasn't all that, or like all that. There's somebody somewhere that's not gonna like something. Yeah. I'm not mad at that, right? Here's the problem. Everybody's opinion don't hold weight, especially when the masses have spoken.
Right.
Right. If the masses are saying that if that Black Thought is one of the illest MCs, period. Right. If the masses have spoken that, then I'm not listening to somebody who's not a fan of. I'm not saying this person who you're talking about, but a lot of times we're dealing today with people who aren't fans of hip hop. They're fans of people, right? So a lot of people who would argue that Black Thought isn't. You got to really check who you're talking to. I don't mean check them. I don't mean like check them. I mean like who am I talking to? Is your opinion valid, right? Because you can argue with somebody who look. People will tell you, I don't like the Lakers. I'm a LeBron fan.
Right.
Like, oh, okay, so I'm not technically talking to a basketball nigga. I'm talking to people who are a fan of people, which is fine. But don't let me waste my time no further.
Yeah, because I'm about to debate with you. I ain't about to waste my breath.
Why would I do that? Why would you argue about if Drake or Kendrick is better when some people who like Drake aren't even fans of hip hop? They just like Drake.
Right.
So how would I explain culture to you when you don't care nothing about the culture and you ain't even in it or like it? Why would I waste my time arguing with a nigga over the internet when you ain't, you know what I mean? So if a nigga telling me Black Thought is okay or he's cool, nothing's wrong with your opinion. That's subjective, right? It's all opinion. That's fine. I don't have no argument with you. But here's the thing. If the masses have spoken, sometimes what I learn to do is be quiet. And what I mean by that is, it's like, say if I didn't, in my opinion, Magic is my favorite player of all time, right. But Kobe is kind of like the GOAT to me, right? But if somebody told me, I'm sorry, let's say I didn't like Kobe, just for whatever reason. And I was like, he really wasn't that good to me. He just wasn't that good to me. But the world call this nigga the Black Mamba. Then maybe I should kick back and be like, I mean, to me, I don't like what I see and heard, but I'm not gonna argue with the world. What do I know?
Maybe my barometer, my measuring stick is off.
You gotta start checking yourself, bro. Because I've done that. Let me tell you. I'm gonna give a prime example. Me personally, I'm gonna do this a lot in this conversation because I'm speaking for myself and nobody else. Me personally, I like the documentary, but a lot of people do. A lot of people say it was a classic game, classic record. They love it. It was a thing, whatever. But me personally, I just didn't like it. But the reason why I don't go on public rants about it, because it sold millions of records, and there's millions of people who like that record and call it a classic record and will argue down about it.
Right.
I'm not the one to argue with about that. I just understand that's my acquired taste on what I feel about that project, right? So I'm not going to argue with you about if I don't think it's good or not when millions of people can stand against me and say it is good. I'm not the dummy. I'm not going to argue that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I just understand it's my taste.
Yeah.
The problem is people think their opinion is law. So you can get on this forum and be like, West Coast ain't got no rappers or no spitters, whatever. And I'll name 50 niggas. All you're going to do is try to debate if my 50 are good.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
You know what I mean? So it's like, all right, well, it's your opinion, my opinion. I don't hate or like it. It's just a thing. I get it. I don't wreck my time about it,
I think I don't know if the right word is underestimated, but like getting back into music and listening to music over the last year and a half, and just hearing Kendrick say the things he says about Ab-Soul, and then hearing other people say things that they said about Ab-Soul made me go back into listening and checking and like, oh shoot, this dude got to be dope. And as everything I listen to, I'm like, they might be right. Like this dude, because DJ Head is and I don't know if I forget who the gentleman's name was that was on a podcast with DJ Head. They said Ab-Soul is the boogeyman, and nobody wants it to really wake him up and get him active. And I was like, oh shoot.
Because once you dissect, that's the dope thing about artistry, right? People are looking at music in kind of like a tunnel vision kind of way. Do I like the beat? Do I like the lyrics? Dope or not, right? But art is much more than that. Many more layers, many more things you can peel back from, right? So I understand it's the reason why I like Too Short and also Jay-Z. It's the reason why I like Rhapsody, but also I like Glorilla.
Right.
So because I understand different regions, sounds, what that rap is supposed to sound like coming from North Carolina, and what that rap is supposed to sound like coming from Memphis in the hood with an accent, a strong accent, right? I understand that, and plus I travel to these places. So if you lived in New Orleans, or you say you was in New Orleans early 90s, right? Or let's say early 90s, spending time in New Orleans, you lived there for years, ate the food, talked to the people. And then you got all of a sudden New Orleans rap starting to pop in the 2000s, right? Yeah. And then all these accents that's so familiar to you is new to everybody else. So while they decipher if they like it, you telling yourself it's hard. I know the people. I've been there. I live there. I know the people. I know the sound. It's grown on me. I understand it already. So I have a different understanding when it comes to listening to rap as a whole, because I've been a lot of places. I traveled a lot of places. I've been on the road with this rap thing for years, and I understand it differently. And I also understand when to take my consumer ear off, like the just straight materialistic consumer, just want to buy, eat sugar, like sweet things, like materialistic things. Turn that off, and then when to turn on my I'm listening to art ear, where I'm just like dissecting lyrics and sitting, and the beat necessarily don't concern me. It could be cool, but I'm not necessarily concerned with the beat. I'm listening to double entendres and metaphors and flips and callbacks later on in the rap. They call back to maybe something in the first verse. I can listen like that. So I can listen to an Ab-Soul in that kind of way instead of like, oh, the beat ain't banging.
Right.
Like, nigga, this ain't the song, but the beat is banging. That ain't the song.
That's not what we checking for.
That's what we checking for. You know what I mean? See, so back to what I said about Daylight. If you're doing diss records, that is what I'm checking for. because the
Yeah.
beat is part of it. That's the other half of it, right? Now, if you did acapella, I think people would have. I mean, I don't want to talk in circles. I said that point already, but it's like you just got to know what you're looking for and know what you're listening for and know how to dissect the two. You know
And
what I mean? So
also
yeah,
selling it as in like, if he would have did that, it would have been a completely different than anybody else. He would have stood apart from everybody. If he would have did an acapella, standing on the corner, different edits of the song, doing what he did, it would just by itself stand out like, oh, he rapping.
he rapping.
So
That's why your opinion. You know, okay, respectfully, my son will be 21 this year, right? So now he's a little different because he grew up listening to old school. Old school for him was 90s, 2000s, and you know what I mean. So
yeah.
he listened to old school rap and stuff like that. So his favorite rapper is DMX, right?
Okay.
So my son is a little different. But also, if he ever tried to argue me down about uh, Lil Wayne and Squad Up mixtapes, I'm like, bro, you wasn't there, bro.
Right.
You don't remember when Lil Wayne transformed from who he was in Cash Money, which was cool, to a goddamn monster on a Squad Up mixtapes. You don't remember the transition of that. This before Carter and all that. You remember when he became an alien. You wasn't there.
People were scared of him.
Yeah, you don't remember. You weren't there when he killed the Best of Me beat, the Maya flip. When he killed, you wasn't there for that, right? So argue with certain people, it's like there's moments, there's things that happen that you got to be like, oh no, you wasn't there for that. Now you can respect it as a fan, but don't argue with me about if you weren't there for that. Don't tell me something trash. Yeah, I mean, don't do that. It's like you watch on YouTube where some nigga talk about how Jordan was garbage, some new kid, a younger kid, because he a LeBron fan, and then he watched Jordan highlights, and then he be blown away. I'm like, yeah, you wasn't there. You didn't take the time to do. You just talking. You just saying stuff. You didn't really do the research. You didn't find out if something's killer or not. So we find ourselves in this big old bubble, the internet, right? This big old bubble of just people who think they know. And when I say people, I mean all of us. I've done it before. I spoke out and said stuff, and I don't know what I'm talking about. Just in the guise of
just for the
being
fact
on the internet. Yeah. I'm keep it real. Like we done it. We all done it. I've argued points that I had no research about before, and then I gotta feel like a dummy later, or I gotta prove wrong.
Are you sure about that? Yeah, I'm 100% sure. Yeah.
Right? What happened?
Yeah, I'm saying it. Yes.
So we've all been embarrassed like that one way or another. So I understand it, man. So I don't take it personal, or I hope they don't when they hear me talk about this rap thing, because it's not that I'm not satisfied, or excuse me, not satisfied. It's not that I'm not enjoying what's going on with the battle stuff. I am, but I also come from this, so I'm very technical. You know what I mean? So I just want to see somebody kill it. I don't want Joey Badass to have the best record of the battle, in my opinion. I don't want him to have the best record. I want somebody from over here to have the best record. I want somebody, and I'm biased in that way, but I'm not biased in telling the truth.
Right. Yeah, I'm going to tell the truth. I'm going to tell the truth.
For sure. So, yeah, man. What do you think about it all? Like, are you enjoying this whole spiel?
See, like, I get to just see, I don't have the background, and like I get to really just get to look at it as like a consumer. Like, I'm not a rapper. I don't have to like take this and look at this and find that. Like, I could just look at it like just somebody enjoying a basketball game that don't play basketball. You know what I mean? Like, I could just be like, well, you know what? And with that, you get an honest opinion, crowd opinion. Like, this is what it did for my ears, or this is what I took from it. The stuff that's easier to listen to is the Joey Badass. Like, I could listen to the Joey Badass, and then as I listen to it, be like, damn, he's spitting too.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, and it's like, I could do that. And then I look at Ray Vaughn, I'm like, I could appreciate the young cat coming with a new flow, a new energy, and GoldenEye and what that did.
Mm-hmm.
And then look at AZ Chike. What was the record? What would you do if you could mess with the dog? You know what I mean? Like, that holds true to me. Like, I grew up with that.
Right.
But just as a consumer, I'm like, yeah, this is cool. We getting new music every day that we can listen to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and I don't have too many, really don't have no dog in the fight. I could just sit back and just enjoy the shit.
I think most should in that way. I think Most of us should, because even though I'm critiquing a lot because my brain does that when I hear cats at war when it comes to rap, but also I am enjoying it. Also, I do love to just sit back and be like, that was dope and that wasn't. Look, all my conversations hasn't been like breaking down what niggas have been saying.
Yeah.
A lot of conversations have been like, man, dog, Joey killing us. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, he killing us, bro. We need somebody. Like it's like Gina said, somebody get in there.
Yeah.
Somebody get in there.
help her. Help.
you know, But here's the thing too. What happens if it stays West Coast New York, which sounds crazy, West Coast to one state. But anyway, let's say it's West Coast, East Coast, and then somebody gets a big feature, right? Like if it starts to be East Coast or New York as a state, or West Coast or California as a state, then what happens when the big dogs get called out? Like how long before like Jay Wan did a record, which I didn't really like. But what happened when he put his dad on the record? You know what I mean? And then now somebody who gonna battle Kiss? Like,
right.
Who wants that smoke? Right? You know what I mean? Like
I don't think it's enough. I don't think there's enough smoke out there for the big dogs to even like bat their eye at some stuff. They just like y'all go ahead and do y'all thing.
Yeah, it's not. But also, I use Jay Wan because that's his son.
Yeah.
So that may be a different favor. but also, you're right. I don't think it's not at a level where big dogs get involved yet. Look, in my opinion, Kendrick should never reply to Joey Badass.
No, that's never. No,
that's not your. No. Why would I? I just spent a year taking down the quote unquote biggest pop artist in rap. Or
I'm selling out the SoFi tonight.
Tonight, I'm
selling out the SoFi tonight. I
spent the last year taking out a nigga you thought I couldn't take out, and you want me to reach down and go deal with him?
Yeah,
I'm straight.
I'm good.
I just sold 14 million at one show. Me and SZA.
That's crazy.
14 million at one show. One of the shows was 14 million.
That's crazy.
It's absolutely insane.
He's out of this world. He's in a different atmosphere. You know what I mean? Like, but if it does get bigger, I hope some of these other artists get involved. Like, shit, get involved. Do it up. Like, but then I said Joey Badass wins by default because he going at everybody by himself. And he not even the greatest from where he from.
No.
He not even considered a top 10 from where he from.
He going hard, though.
He going hard on everybody.
And Joey Badass, see, the cool part about it is he just been out the way for a long time, acting and stuff, getting stuff like that. But he was always considered.
Is he a top 10? Did I say that wrong?
No, I don't know if he's top 10 or not. I don't know if that's a lot. Top 10, in my opinion, no. In my opinion, though.
Yeah.
But nobody looked at him as a slouch. None. Nobody. Okay. East Coast or West Coast. For the niggas on the West Coast who know, they know. That nigga came out barking. 17 years old, he was killing shit. And what's crazy was he reminded people of like Coach Contra, meaning he was that young rapping like that.
Okay.
Right? And so to watch him and when he came out 16, 17, it reminded us of the old New York.
Okay.
When niggas still wear 40 belows and, with the hats with the fur on inside, big jackets. And, you know what I mean? It reminded you of you looking at, like, the son of, like, Mobb Deep in them or that East Coast feeling, right?
Okay.
It reminded about him because he was spitting. He didn't get into the trend of, like, making club music. I'm going to make drill like the Chicago niggas. He didn't do all that. So it reminded niggas of that. In the pro era, that's what the crew was. So if you hear the sentiments now, people be like, yo, niggas been waiting for Joey to get back. Because he been acting. So these are fans have been asking like, man, Joey came back with a vengeance. Like, you know what I mean? So he had never been a slouch. He was never that. Okay. That's why I say they are going at a veteran. You can't forget that. Don't get he's doing music. He's unique on that show. Don't get that confused. That nigga is Joey Badass who been doing this for a long time.
Got it.
You know what I mean? So, and they find it out. They find out the hard way. It ain't sweet.
It ain't
You know
sweet.
what I'm saying?
And I
It ain't
think
sweet.
the biggest winner out of all this is Gina Views. Like right now,
Yeah.
Gina is
Shout
Gina
out to
is
Gina
in the
Views,
mix.
man.
Gina is in the mix. She's on the intro.
Right.
Because I love Gina. You know what I mean? Like I want Gina to win, and she is winning. She's always winning. But I respect her and I love her so much. So, Gina is in the mix and her opinion it counts. And her not being biased just really solidified it for a lot of other people. Like, oh shit. And she's not even just riding just to ride with the coast.
Right.
She's keeping it real. And so I appreciate that.
Look, I didn't know that if that's true. That he wrote Rockstar for Post Malone. That's first of all, we talking about somebody like you know what I mean? Like, dude, we talking about bona fide monster hit record.
Who did?
Joey Badass.
What? Oh yeah.
Right, I think that's what he said. Victor Mo Jr.
Damn.
That's huge. We talking about somebody who's been in the business a while, been doing stuff like that, writing, obviously, MCing for a long time, doing shows. Like, he's not a slouch by no means. And they finding out. They thought it was sweet. They thought they would go in, Rayvon and them, do they 1-2, and then they end up in the deep end real fast.
Yeah, they found out real fast. That shit has
Man, that's the
2.5.
finals.
That
What's that, Rockstar?
yeah, it's 3 billion streams.
Bro, I wasn't playing. Monster hit. Monster hit.
Hey man, all right. So we good with the rap battle, and I think we got a good understanding of
Yeah,
where it's at.
so for me, Joey's up
Joey's up.
by a long shot.
Joey's up by a long shot, and so
Yeah.
I'm interested into seeing what comes out, what more comes out. But since we're speaking about rappers, let's jump into the Tory Lanez situation.
For sure.
And a rapper that was on top, a rapper that was talented. I just came to find out a rapper that was on top, selling records, independent. He wasn't signed to a record. I didn't know that. But I'm just painting a picture right now. On top, living life, going wherever he wants to go, hanging out with some of the Kardashians, the Megan Thee Stallions, and this and that. He's in the mix.
Real quick. My bad, real quick.
Yeah.
Cash knows. So you got to understand how writing works, right? Potentially, maybe there were 5 actual writers on the song, but you also understand that writers is production also, right? So I'm not saying like I don't know if he wrote it with 5 people, I don't know, or did he write it with maybe 1 or 2, and everybody else they played production because they count as writers also. Don't confuse the two. I'm not saying you're wrong. Just I don't. Is it a fact or not? Let me know which one it is. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't that you're wrong. I'm just saying like exactly. Producers are writers too. So when you see like writers, if they try to say, "Oh, Kendrick," they tried to do that in the battle with Kendrick and Drake. Oh, yeah. Kendrick, he wrote that with 6 other people. No, he didn't. Kendrick wrote it by himself, and the 6 other people that played in production on the song, they got the other writers.
Oh,
so
okay.
Yeah, producers are writers too. So that just because you see 5 people don't mean it was 5 people that actually wrote the lyrics to that song. So yeah.
That's good news. That's good information too. Like, okay. Dang.
But I'm sorry. So Tory Lanez, Tory Lanez.
He was on top. Just basically was on top. And where he's at now, stabbed 14 times, recovering in prison, an inmate in jail, trying to get out of jail. What do we make of this? Like, what do we make of this, and where do we side, or how do we even formulate an opinion about this when there's so many sides to the story, and his story over her story, but he's in jail for it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's tough. It's tough because if he said it, cool. Cash knows, my bad. If he said it, yeah, okay, cool, perfect. I just want to be sure. I didn't say you was wrong. I just want to be sure. But yeah, it's tough because a woman, a black woman, said that she was shot by him, right?
Yeah.
And he said he didn't shoot her. He also didn't say who did. And when they asked him, was it the best friend? He said it was not. So I'm doing the math in my head, like, look, man, I'm not the brightest, right? But so Meg didn't shoot herself. So it was you or her.
Right.
Meaning, did you do the quote unquote real nigga thing and was like, I'm not finna tell on baby because I'm not a snitch? That's fine, for sure. That's fine. You could have did that. Or did you think that they wouldn't have enough evidence to send you up for 10 years? Because for what happened, that's a lot for 10 years. You know, getting 10 years for that is a lot.
That is
Right?
a lot.
So he definitely got railroaded. But I'm not saying he's innocent. I'm saying if you didn't shoot him and a best friend didn't shoot him, she didn't. Who shot her? She didn't shoot herself. So somebody is either covering up or not telling the truth.
Right.
No matter what happened, they got your ass 10 years. That's an issue, right? Now, you being in jail entirely too long, and now a stabbing happens, right? And then with the stabbing, the lawyers come back and say, oh, we found new evidence. Security guard came up front, some old security guard or bodyguard showed up and said that the best friend said she shot Megan.
Right.
Right? So do I know if that's true or not? I don't know. And I don't know who to believe because in my opinion, everybody was lying and everybody thought that this would have a different turnout.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But I'll be very careful about going on record saying a woman who accused a man of doing a heinous act like that is lying. I don't want to ever be confused and say that either. You know, if it come out that she is lying, I'll say it on record. If it's proved that she was, I'll say it for sure. But as of right now, I can't just put that on her. I just know something went bad with Tori, with Tori and old girl, and somebody kept it too real. That's what happened, in my opinion. Somebody kept it too real, and now you got to sit for 10.
Sit for 10 in a place where what just happened can happen.
That's what I'm saying. Because you are a sitting duck in there. Look, here's the thing. One thing we know is common sense tells us is that you weren't supposed to be alive. You got stabbed in the head, what, twice? Stabbed in the head twice. Stabbed in the body a bunch of times, and I forgot where else.
Both lungs collapsed.
Both lungs collapsed. Meaning somebody tried to kill you. Right? The only thing that saved you is God, and that's it. Right? So there's a lesson here, and you may have, obviously you got a second chance to live because you survived the heinous attack that was supposed to put you out.
Right.
But the unclear part is we don't know what happened. There's no videotape. I don't understand. In an affluent neighborhood as that, there ain't a Ring camera footage in sight, nothing?
Nothing. Like there's not even camera footage of when you walked up to the scene. There's not even police camera footage when you walked up to the scene. Nothing. There's nothing.
Nothing. So it's tough that I think I don't know, man. I don't know. I want to make sure I'm sharp with how I respond to that because I don't want to ever put the blame on Meg if it's not Meg's fault. She was the one shot. So what happened after that is on other people.
Right.
Right. Now, if she's saying Tori did it and she didn't see the nigga do it, that's a whole nother story.
You got some other shit to deal with. Like that's between them and God. But the thing is,
you know what I mean?
That's almost like, but you remember coming up playing sports or being in sports, they say never leave it in the ref's hands never leave it in the umpire's hands, the referee's hands, the judge's hands to decide who won the match. Win convincingly. Be in a position in life to where they're like, sorry, shot who? Like, yeah, right. Like that, he wasn't even there. Like you gotta keep, the thing is like you are who you surround yourself with.
For sure.
You gotta stop being around these people that don't really give a damn about you. Like these people don't care about you. It just looks good. It sounds good. Oh, you hot right now. We keep putting ourselves in situations like these athletes, these superstar athletes, drinking and driving. Why are you driving?
Yeah.
Why you don't have a driver? Why are you doing, like, why are you even putting yourself in these situations to where something like this can happen? And it's just an unfortunate event for everybody involved, everybody's family. And like I like hearing his father like praying and saying, like, it hit home to me when he was like, we pray every morning on the phone as a family for Tory.
Yeah.
That he's safe, and you know what I mean? And I'm not, everybody makes mistakes, everybody goes through stuff. But that hit home for me was like, damn, a father. You know how, like, a lot of us have friends that are in jail or whatever, but you know
Right.
what I never really did? I never put myself in the position of the father or the mother of someone
Yeah.
that's in
Yeah.
prison. Like, you have no idea what is going to take place, when it's going to take place, and how anything took place. You get no answers. And your baby is just in there with monsters.
And here's the thing, too, to add to that point, is that let's just say, I'm not saying this, for example, let's say that they know. Now, I don't know how they know, but let's just say they know he's also innocent. That got to be an actual living nightmare. That has to be an actual living nightmare to know, for example, I'm clear, that your son is in there doing 10 years or look like he's facing 10 years for something he'd even do.
Right.
And so we can go all the way back and say, well, you shouldn't have been messing with two best friends, or you shouldn't have been messing with, man. I
You
don't know
should
how
have
you
been
got from this.
drinking. You should have been partying. You shouldn't have been
There's a
doing
bunch
it.
of stuff, yeah, a bunch of stuff we shouldn't have done, right? Which rightfully so too. Okay, I get it. You shouldn't have been doing that, right? But I don't think nobody thought it would end in a gunshot and then somebody behind bars for 10 years.
Right.
It's tough, and I'm sure the truth will be revealed. Megan, two things. Tory is already in jail facing 10. If he get out for because something was overturned that was innocent, that's a blessing. The other flip side is, oh no, but let's say it's not proven, or it is proven that he is the one who actually shot.
Yeah.
Then everybody think what they think anyway. Nothing changes. He got finished doing the 10 years. People think he's guilty. That's it. Nothing changes. But if it flips, if it happened to flip that he's actually innocent, or we find out what happened, what actually happened, like random lost footage pop up, whatever happens, people gonna look at Megan crazy.
Crazy. She should,
Cra-
but if you
Crazy.
falsely accuse somebody of doing something like that to you, shouldn't you go to jail too?
I would think so,
Like,
right?
shit,
But,
I was in
but
there 4 years on some false accusation. Like, you go do some time now.
bro, I remember I forgot his name. That kid was on his way to that one girl messed up his chance in the draft. He got pulled out the draft, went to jail and some more stuff just for them to find out he actually did not rape her. I
Yeah.
forgot that it happened recently, but a couple years back. I know you heard about it. I forgot the name though. It's a wrap. He missed the chance. He missed the chance to go to the league. Didn't get drafted because he was sitting up and dealing with that. And a little older now. Some years have went by. It's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
Because
It's
you
like,
lied.
you don't get that back. You don't get that back, those opportunities back, and you just rob somebody of their life, like of their living. Like, you could never get that shit back. That's the cold thing. Like, I got a brother that I grew up with, Brandon Banks, that went to
Mhm.
Poly, football player. That the same thing happened to him, and the lawyer caught her in his office, and they have her on camera saying like, yeah, it didn't happen. I just didn't want to get in trouble, and my mom wanted the money because she sued the school.
Wow.
And then,
Wow.
like, they were like, well, give the money back. She's like, well, my mom spent it all. But then he ended up getting out of jail. But he was a number one ranked linebacker in the nation and was going to go to SC. And he went to jail for 4 or 5 years. And this is a
Ruined
kid
him.
I grew up with, ruined him. But even when he got out, Pete Carroll still gave him an opportunity to try out for the Seattle Seahawks.
Oh no. Okay.
But it still is like, damn, you just took somebody's trajectory because you were
100%.
scared you was going to get in trouble. You just altered somebody's whole life.
That's why it's like people, man. I think that's an evil act when you
It
think about
is.
that. Because I think when people hear evil, they think murder or sacrifices, something like something bloody, gory, or just like nasty evil, like trying to kill somebody. like evil come in all different shapes and sizes.
Like, get
And
it.
for you to for the what was so bad that you had to accuse another man of that and ruin his career? Like what was going to happen to like with what you did? Was you going to go to jail for it?
She's gonna
You
get
should
on
get
punishment. She's gonna be on
a punishment.
punishment.
So yeah, it's like you chose to ruin a man's career over you getting on punishment. That is absolutely insane. And I wonder when or if the laws will ever change about what happens when that happens. You know
Right.
what I mean? Not to take it all the way back, but we know the history of slavery and how what happened with Emmett Till and stuff like that. Like what happens when that stuff's still happening? Right now, here's the crazy part. It's so crazy that right now, a woman somewhere, anywhere in the world, could be like, "Look, tried to essay me."
Mm-hmm.
I would be arrested first, and then questioned maybe later, and then if it happened on live stream, boom! Now that's a clip that's gonna go viral. Oh, Lucc was accused of essay. For most viewers, oh, Luc's guilty.
Right. He looks like it.
All kind of stuff. He
Look at
said,
him. Yeah, he did it.
"All right, okay, no,
No.
no, no,
No, no, no, no,
no,
no,
no.
no, no.
No, you were
I'm
looking
just
for a way
saying.
in.
No,
You were looking for a way to
no.
bring
I'm
it.
saying people will, but I'm just saying people make judgments off of real shit just off a look. Like someone will have a preconceived notion or a prejudice about a black
Yeah,
man, a big black
yeah,
man. Like, yeah, he did it. He looks like he could have did it. He's a strong man. Like he's black and this that, and they have prejudice
yeah,
thing. And so it's like,
yeah. Like I fit the description of. First of all, if you do, which that's the crazy part. Statistically, I do not fit the description. Like that's the crazy part.
right.
Like if you want
But
to go by numbers, by race and stuff, like,
but fears outweigh
no, for
logic.
sure. Yeah, there for sure.
Fears,
100%. And you know what? And let me take that back. First of all, I mean, let me take it back because it ain't about numbers at that point because there's people, black, white, brown, orange, I don't care what the people look like. This is happening to families all over the world. So many families never told on that uncle
right,
that was nasty, or that never
right.
told, or didn't tell on that stepfather, that stepmother, or didn't. You know what I mean? Like I remember, I told the story before. I was with one of my past relationships, and she had just watched a movie in our adult years. She had just watched a movie. I'm not gonna say what movie it is, but there was a rape scene in that movie, and then it triggered her.
Mm-hmm.
A suppressed memory came up,
Yeah,
and that movie made her remember that she was getting molested when she was like 12. Wait, what? Like, it was like no, like 9 or something like that by her uncle.
yeah.
The movie triggered it, and she said she watching the movie and then immediately thought about him on top of her
Oh shoot.
that she had suppressed all them years and never told nobody. Right? So stuff like that been happening. It's almost common, which
Right.
is sick and sad. So I can't say statistically it just it looks more like this than that. But also, yes, I totally get your point. The fact that somebody could just be like him, he
Yeah.
did it, and
Or
then
they could
your
just be
life is
racist.
ruined.
Like, yeah, his black ass. Yeah, get him, lock him up. Let's get somebody.
Your life is ruined. It's ruined. And then it's tough, man. Here's the cold part. It's so all over the place. You almost don't want to speak on it.
Right.
You almost don't want to speak on the trial because it's like, well, what happened? Did he shoot her? Didn't he? Why do I believe him? Why do I believe her? Like, or do I not believe her? Do I not believe? You know what I mean? Like, so it's one of them things where we gotta hear more evidence. I gotta see more things. Or some people. Now, here's the thing: some people argue as a man, why would you have to see more evidence than what the cops locked him up for? And I'm like,
Because we've been railroaded before. Because we've seen that, and that's the thing. We can have our biased opinions because
yeah,
we've seen us get locked up for no reason.
for sure,
Like,
100%.
nah, he like whatever, he didn't do it, like this and that. And so we know that they be out for us. Like they be out for us just on anything. Like they'll overlook certain things to get it. So it's like we have our, and then women have been taken advantage of by men or abused by men. So we
Yes.
have our own preconceived dispositions, our dispositions that we feel that are from our experiences. And so like even jump into the Diddy case, like even
Mm-hmm.
people like even men that are like, oh, Cassie wanted that. That's what she
Mm.
wanted. You know, that's the position that they take. Like she was she took part in that. But when they're not taking into consideration that she was a 19-year-old girl, he was giving her drugs, and he introduced her to this life. And now that
Yeah.
may be her norm.
That's why, to your point, that's why that also is a very trick. To your point, I 100% agree with you. It's all that also is a tricky topic, right? Because I remember I listened to Joe Budden show recently, the last one, not the one today, came out today, the last one. They talked about her reputation and what was said in text or in court the first time she took the stand. Talked about how in the text she said, she liked a lot of it. She wanted, or when the male escort said she asked him to pee on her.
Mhm.
People, a lot of men and women, they got to say, see that she wanted it. She's not a victim. She's a part of it. She's a suspect. She's not and I wouldn't be so myself. I wouldn't be so quick to jump out there and say all that because I understand how trauma works. Also,
Right.
I understand how being under somebody's control.
Falling in love with your victim, with your
Yeah, like
abuser.
I understand, and it's scary. I understand if you're signed to a label, and that label is if you sign to a label, and that label is the guy your lover's label, and he's you said he's physically handling you, so I can't understand being that kind of afraid that not only can I not go nowhere, he has my career in his hands also. I'm scared to leave because he put his hands on me, and also my career is in his hands. I'm his
10
employee also.
album contract. That's
That's what I'm saying.
predatorial in his god dog self.
That was LL Cool J's first contract, if I'm not mistaken.
10 album contract. And it's just nasty work because you got a 37-year-old and a 19-year-old.
Yeah.
Because then I start thinking as a dad, you know what I mean? Like, damn, like we're in a place where no matter what, there's going to be a side that's going to say you're wrong. You're wrong, she's wrong, he's wrong, whatever. And somebody's going to take a side. But we have to do the moral thing. Like just because somebody is like say if she was a prostitute,
Yeah.
that doesn't mean she can't get SA'd. Just because she did this 1,000 times doesn't mean that what are we so far removed from humanity that just because somebody's lifestyle, they can't be taken advantage of? That they can't be SA'd? Like, it's not about how many times she said yes. It's about the one time she said no.
Yeah. We watched the whole movie of somebody who was raping his own wife on What's Love Got to Do with It.
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Ike. We watched Ike beat that woman and rape that woman crazy. And that's his wife. So when people use that argument of that was his girl, that was his wife, that's what are you actually saying to me?
What are you saying?
Like, you know what I mean? What are you saying? Exactly. And it's just what happens is I think when we hear these trial descriptions, all this stuff that come out publicly, if people are speaking on it enough, it just shows you where people are.
Yeah,
right?
it kind of exposes who they are.
For sure. It exposes, because why would I don't even understand. I don't understand how it's like I said, it's hard to speak on it because it's too early. I don't know the facts, right? I don't know how willingly was a participant. And the reason why I say it's too early because I also know it's too early. I also know how trauma works, right? You understand how, for example, Mark Lamont Hill and Joe Budden said he brought up the word Stockholm syndrome, right? And you're right, it could be that. You was with that man for what, a decade plus?
Your whole adult life. You don't know
Her
nothing.
whole adult life, she was with him.
And on drugs.
People talking about, well, why didn't she leave? Like, did y'all not hear what she just said?
She saw him bomb somebody's car. And this is the thing. So this is where people get shit confused, Lucc, is like predators have preyed before.
Right.
A victim of a predator that gets eaten by a predator, that's their first time. They are not schooled in how to behave. They don't know how to get away. They don't know what to take place. The predator has done this for 30 years. And so you never know. He bombed somebody's car. He could have threatened her mom. Like I don't know. I'm just making assumptions what a monster would do. So if you don't do this, this is what's going to happen to your family, or this is what I'm going to make sure I do. And then if he was trying to extort the mom, he extorted the mom for $20,000 to not expose a sex tape.
Yeah.
What other stuff was he doing? You know what I mean? Like this dude, this is the power, the power of having money also.
That's why full access scares me.
Dude.
You know, I feel like I changed a lot of my life, and I make way more better decisions now than I ever have. But I also don't want full access to everything. Not because I think I can't control myself. That's not why. It's because I don't think none of us are supposed to have it.
Right.
Like Rios, imagine this, full access to anything. It's like, if you want to really know yourself, put a nigga in that kind of room where anything is available to him.
Yeah, that's like tough.
That's scary. That's a lot.
Also, and the other thing is, you will do things messed up on accident because people are doing things for you because of what you have. People are doing things for you because of the access you have. Like she don't really like you. He's not even your friend. This person don't even care about you. They're only around because of a certain thing. Like you got to be careful about your access, and you got to be careful who you keep around, because now they're here. You never know if a woman's having sex with you just because of you. Or is she because you got $1 billion.
100%. That's why, it's like you don't know what your that's why I stay prayed up, man, because you just never you never know what you would do with access. A lot of people find this out the hard way, right? You think, here's the thing, we talk about music game. Shout out to my man Sean Phelan in the building, man. Much love. Like he knows, like right? In the music industry, a lot of times people are banking on getting popping, getting famous, right? Being rich and famous, right? And we understood from having peaks on the inside or working on the inside and being behind the scenes how a lot of times it can get very dark and very ugly on the other side. And sometimes you don't understand what you really want, you don't want.
Right.
I heard J. Cole on, I forgot what talk show it was. He was on a late night show. He was talking about how he had got everything he wanted and realized he no longer wants none of it.
Damn.
Because none of that satisfied him as you think things would do, right? You got millions of dollars. You think, I'm going to go buy this car, buy my wife this, and I got the diamond and the chains and the watches, and I'm going to get a new house, whatever, and I'm going to go on vacation. I'm going to, you're going to do all the things, and then you find yourself sitting up miserable because you never found your purpose in life, or you never dealt with.
Have no value.
Right? It's just stuff, just things, But also the scary part is that to our earlier point, what that access does to us internally, right? It's like this. If you can get away with murder, would you? You know what I mean?
Right. That's like having a superpower.
It's
right?
like having
Like,
superpower. It's like if you could look, if you were a little too aggressive with the young lady, could you just pay it off?
right, right.
Like, and here's the problem: they will pay it off like the problem solved. No, the problem started when you was aggressive with the lady.
That's where the problem is.
That's what the problem is. So when it comes to having that kind of access, it scares me. I'm not saying I don't want nothing out of life. I don't talk like that, right? God knows I want more for my family and to be elevated and have all the things that He wants me to have. Um, but also, you know, I also understand the dangers of getting too many of things, too much stuff. You know what I mean? I've been out with wads of money in my pocket before, and the turnout was a little different. That I had money other times that I didn't. Right? And what I mean by that, it was I could always get high somewhere. I don't need money for that to get high.
Right.
I go have a good time anywhere. I don't need money to go have a good time. But when you are the man with the funds, the stuff you realize you did the night before can get crazy.
And what people are willing to do to stay within your good graces.
Which makes them which makes this whole thing a room full of crazy.
Oh, great. There was a wise man, rich, intelligent man that once said, the more money you got, the more problems you have. I think it was Diddy. And
Great transition. Yeah, let's quote Diddy. That's perfect. That's perfect.
like he said it, you know what I mean? Like, damn, like he told himself, like,
It's like you walked in the room and didn't read it.
yeah, you got a platinum album. It says it. Yeah, like remember your platinum album that you got?
Let me ask you this. Do you think the days of Diddy are over?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So you think he's going to jail for a long time?
I don't know if he's going to go to jail for a long time, but I don't think
Oh,
you recover
man.
from other men's
Yeah.
semen being rubbed on your nipples.
Oh, shoot. I forgot about that.
I don't think you ever recover from that. Your kids and your sons now know that you used other men's semen as lotion on your nipples.
Could you imagine? Look, I could imagine being in court and then
I lotion my nipples with that nut.
he said, and then I used to run in there, I used to rub male semen on his nipples. You just got to look back at your son like,
Hey, and I'm trying not to laugh
they
at
didn't
him.
hear that part.
I'm trying not to laugh at him and be like that, but the nigga walked into court with a heart sign to his family like, y'all about to hear about this nut on my nipples. Like, what? Like, come on, man. Like, get them out the court. Tell them don't come. Don't be here. I know all of the ugly shit I did. He was doing heart signs there. Love y'all.
And then we found out it was a glory hole.
You can fit two. You can fit two.
First of all, you can fit two is insanity. That is diabolical.
Hey,
you can fit two is insane.
Next two guys, come on. Dude, it's really sick.
Wait, first of all, they had no female prostitutes, right?
It was all men escorts.
That nigga had a cowboy orgy.
Cowboy orgy. He was I don't know what was going on, what he was exposed to, what happened to him, because obviously, what if they have Justin Bieber get on the stand? Like, what was the Justin Bieber? What was going on with Usher? What was going on with all this? It's a lot of people that I'm pretty sure have signed something to where they can't get up there. But you tell me a man waits in another room while you having sex with another man and he asks you to come put the other man's semen on his nipples? Oh, there's no limit to the crazy.
Dude,
how do you even think of that?
There's a
How
level.
Does that become a thing?
There's a level of freakiness that I never want to get to. That when did you find out
That's
that
15 levels past the level I ever want to get to.
that means she had to leave a room that she was in, come to the next room to put man cream on your chest?
It's here. I got it, babe. I got it.
What is
No,
happening?
just the left nipple. Just the left. You know it's the left nipple. Just the left nipple. Dude, there's nothing I would put past that dude, man. There's absolutely nothing I would ever put past him.
Yeah, and to your point, now I was talking about it's over, like is he going to jail? But also to your point, yes, it is over though. Jail or not, it's a wrap. We've heard too many things. We've seen the video, which that means it's not permissible in court. I think they ruled the video out of him beating Cassie in the hallway. But we've seen it already.
We've seen it
and
already.
We heard the stories.
But I don't know if it's over for him. I actually don't. For me, it's over. It's over for him. For me, but there's probably a million semen nipple guys out there that's like, yeah, I understand. Like, that's how crazy the world is.
Somebody said, "What's the big deal?"
Y'all don't do that.
Dude,
y'all don't do the Harlem lotion?
Oh,
what? Y'all don't do the Harlem lotion around here?
Dude, that's called a Harlem bath.
Y'all don't do the Harlem bath here in Long Beach? Nah. The hell you talking about?
Dude,
he lost it with us, but he's in there with the nipple crew. The nipple people is out there.
Dude, that's a different kind of freaky.
We live in a different world. We live in a nasty world. That I didn't even know. Shout outs. I didn't even know that even existed until this court. I didn't even know that was a thing.
You wanted male cream to travel to you and be planted on your chest?
I want you to be a courier of man juice from room to room.
I want you to be a canvas of male milk. Of male milk.
Paint me. I'm your canvas.
That's terrible. You know, here's the cold part.
Basquiat me. You could be like, you could be my Basquiat. I'm out of line, guys. I'm out of line. I'm tired and I'm out of line.
Basquiat.
I'm tired. No. I'm out of line. That's wrong. Some real people is hurting this. Like, some real people hurt.
Out of pocket. That's pure nasty.
It's pure nasty, but that's what I'm saying. There's people outside the courtroom fighting for him right now.
But, you know, here's the thing too. When they drop those text messages, right, of Cassie texting them saying how horny she is and she want to do she was with her I think it was her boyfriend at the time, her husband.
Yeah.
When she texted, she missed the freak off. She wanted the freak off.
She FaceTimed him while they were freaking off before.
Right. So it's like that also makes
you're the cuckold of a cuckold. What does that make you? You a cuckold to a cuckold. That's
what I'm saying. It's like it doesn't paint her in the most righteous light. It starts to paint them as two freaks that were just doing their thing.
Doing their thing. But that's what I think they was paint. It was like, you know what? We'll sacrifice and paint her, make her look bad.
Yeah.
Because what we're going to tie into this down the line is going to tie in everything. We just got to, if we have to destroy her to assassinate his character, fine.
As much as possible. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Because, but what happens is, as far as court of public opinion, which can't convict anybody, But the court of public opinion, they they she started to look like she wanted it and just got she wanted it and was mad. I heard Ray Daniels made I'll say a point. I'm not gonna say a good point, great point, or a bad point, but he made a point. He said she was into what he was into, right? Or he probably introduced her to some things, right? And she got involved, heavily involved, right? With the freak off stuff, got heavily involved. Yeah, something maybe made a bit extra, something maybe extra to her or a lot on it, but she was involved, right? She said, and then they broke up. They broke up. She went her way. She ended up getting paid. Like, I think they tried to get money out of him by trying to write a book early. Mm-hmm. Forgot what happened. And then Diddy got with Carisha, okay. Right? And Ray Davis was saying, yeah, that's when Auburn went bad, right? Ray Davis was saying that she got mad because all hearsay, none of this is facts.
Yeah.
She got mad because Carisha got everything she wanted as his lover at the time, right? She got her own podcast. Mm-hmm. She got to put singles out, and still got the trips and the money and the lifestyle.
But that's the thing. I'm not blaming Cassie for her unhealthy behavior, unhealthy mm-hmm. mental stability. I'm not going to blame a young lady who grew up being beaten by her dad.
Yeah.
That falls in love with a man that shows her he loves her by beating her. And she was like, and that girl is like, oh yeah, he hits me because that means he loves me, because she grew up in a household where her father said, you know, when I beat you, that means I love you. And she's seeking that out. I don't blame the rearing of a child and the unhealthy development of a child when this is what was developed because of the abuse that you subjected her to.
100%. I'm with you on that. That's why I said it's tricky, because first of all, we don't have all the facts, and I know puffy lawyers are beasts, and they're over there sitting over there like waiting for y'all to like do your thing. Like, we gonna let y'all bring all your witnesses, tell all your stories, whatever, and then I don't have to defend anything because we ain't going down for none of the things you guys are talking about.
Right.
You just basically talking about how freaky he is, and that's not necessarily a crime, but they're trying to paint it as we have to paint him as a certain type. So when these other charges come up, they have a certain kind of look of him already. Because technically, that would be, if you're using the label as to keep the money away, to throw her career because she don't want to do RICO. Now we get into racketeering and all that stuff. Now we talk about the legalities of it.
Right.
Right. So
and the mom was on stand.
That has to be a well thought out plan to get that going. Not to say it can't be done, for sure. It can be. But it's tough because we're still so early on. I think Don just did her went on stand the other day.
Don was yesterday. The mom was the other day. If you're dumb enough to get the mom, to extort the mom for $20,000 and have it paid to the bad boy.
Right.
Like, I don't even know what else is about to come out. Like, these dudes is like fake mafioso bosses. You know what I mean? Like, they think that they bosses, but they operate like idiots. You know what I mean? Like, you operate like a complete idiot.
I kind of want the tapes to leak, but I don't want to see them.
You want the world to see them.
So
you can talk about them. Who was in it?
Well, no. I want it to be out, so I want irrefutable evidence. Because if he's the monster you're making him to be, I need people to see just how.
Mm-hmm.
It's one thing you can hear about he set somebody up, or did Biggie or Pac die because of Puff and whoever was involved, and all these dark things. Did he do Craig Mack and them wrong, total them wrong? You know, all these dark things. I need the evidence to be irrefutable, so he could get full on deserve so he can fully get what he's supposed to get. You know, and because arguing about hearsay of men and women is like you bring your biases and your traumas and your triggers into that kind of argument, right? that's why you hear tons of men like, she lied, she wanted it too. She was there the whole time. These bitches be scammers, these whatever,
Yeah,
whatever. These bitches be doing that. And I'm like, man, you niggas sound hurt.
right.
Because if we don't know that to be a fact or be true, then why would you throw this on you like that?
Because I know for a fact I seen him throw her to the ground and kick her.
That happened.
That happened. And he tried to pay off a security guard to not saying that. Like, these are all things that happen. And like anybody that is fighting for Diddy, I don't want to say you got an issue or whatever, but if you choose not to see stuff that's lining up against him, like, dude, like, it's painting the picture of somebody that took advantage of and knew without a doubt that they were doing that. You know what I mean?
For
Like,
sure.
you without a doubt knew that you were taking advantage of somebody and you was using your power to manipulate someone into being your sex slave.
I wonder what happens and we'll close out on this topic. We want to keep running on the topic, but I wonder what happens at home with the family. Like, what happens when you guys are talking about dad's case, right? And remember, there's still the rumors about Kim Porter out there too, or what happened to her and who
I'll
did
be
what,
sure.
right? I'll be sure too, right? So, and that man's son is still over there, right? So it's interesting to hear about. I would love to hear about the conversation that's being had behind closed doors about that. Not to hear about secret plans or whatever, but just like, how's everybody coping with it? This is what I'm going to say. Forget
Them
the
little
media
niggas
side
start
of
having
it.
jump offs instead of freak offs. We don't know what they do. Like, we don't know what behavior has been
Shoot.
rubbed off or what is norm to them. Like, if
Yes.
that's who raised you, and then
Yeah.
there was shootings, and this is like, it's a whole bunch of shit, man, that I don't want to accuse nobody of or this and that, but there was shit happening.
Right.
There was shit happening and shit getting swept under the rug and cases and all kind of stuff. They live a different life than us. They live a life
Yeah.
that I'm not familiar with.
Yeah. For sure.
I don't want that
Yeah.
life either.
To wrap this up, man, I do want to say, look, prayers to the families. Prayers to the family involved. Prayers to Cassie and her family for everything they've been through, going through, and will go through in the future. I pray that everything turns out the best for her in her situation. I want to pray for all Puff's kids. They not. I don't have jokes for them.
They're
I don't have
innocent.
jokes for them. I don't have. They didn't do anything. Their dad is on what he's on, and we don't fully know outright yet exactly what he's on.
The two
But
twins are still in high school. The
I'm
girls, they're
saying
in high school.
that's tough. It's tough. I'm praying for that family. I'm praying for them kids, man, because they don't deserve to hear and be. That's why I don't understand why they had to. They said they had to
I
walk
don't
them out of court.
understand that.
I don't
Why
understand why
did
they
they
were
have
there.
them there?
I don't know, because you gotta understand they can. Not you gotta understand, but they can say anything in court. If you talk about this topic, why would you want your little daughters there? Yeah,
It's not fraud like bank fraud or money
right,
laundering.
right,
It's, you know what it is. Like, why do you have these girls there? They're, first of all, they're babies. I think they're like in the 10th, 11th grade, maybe. I don't
right.
know. Why are they at that case with, we know what the topic is? That shit was just like, I think that was just a big fail on whoever were the guardians
Yeah,
or whatever. They shouldn't have been there for that. I feel so bad for them for that. But yeah, we just got to pray for everybody that they make it out of this. And regardless of what happens,
mm-hmm.
therapy is going to be needed.
1,000%.
Therapy is going to be needed because
1,000%.
damn, like I just thought about that right now. The therapy
Yeah,
thing,
yeah,
like the effect on these children, like going into relationships, going into life, and then people judging you, and then you
yeah,
going places like, oh, your dad was this, your dad. Cassie too, like her family, like, man, prayers to everybody. You're right, prayers to everybody.
yeah.
This is playing out like a movie, so sometimes we get caught up in that, but it's real life for them. Like, that's crazy.
Man, what do we have? We were supposed to talk about something else too. Cassie and Diddy. We had
We did Tory Lanez, we did the rap
Tory Lanez.
battle.
Right about. We had something else too. Oh, I had it on my phone. No, I think we texted each other. I think. Let me see.
My phone app. Where I
Hold
put
on, we
my
talked
phone?
about the three. Yeah, we talked about the three things.
I don't even know where I put my damn phone. Oh, it's
Oh
right
shoot.
here. I still had it set up.
Hey, so okay, I do want to. I'm gonna make a little flyer too about this live stream. We do want to let people know that we're doing this Wednesdays at 12, right?
Wednesdays at 12. If there was nothing going on right now, yes. Let me see if there's anything going on at this time. Let me see. Hold on.
Because Wednesday at 12 is fine with me.
Okay. And then because I gotta leave at around 2 anyway, like 2:10 to go pick
Okay,
up JJ.
okay, okay.
Nope. Nobody, nothing. Pun got something going on, like having. Oh, Fair to Say is live. So was Fair to Say day today? No, he was just live with Tiny on Fair to Say. Okay,
Okay.
yeah, I think today is
Now
good.
look, would you want to move it before we lock it? Like before I press up like a little thumbnail, or whatever. Do you want to move it to 11, or are you still good at 12? I say that because do you want to be so close to 2 where you got to go pick your kids up?
I think 11 could work. I think 11.
It don't
Yeah,
matter to me. I'm just trying to give you enough time after our pod so you can go. I don't want you rushing to go get your kid. Like, you know what I mean?
yeah. No, I think we're good. I think we could do 11 or 12. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So if I had to vote, because both times fine with me, but I'll say 11 over 12. But if you find 12 to
Let's
be
do
better,
11. Let's do 11.
okay, let's do 11 then. So I want to make sure everybody know that we relatable is set every Wednesday, 11 o'clock. Every Wednesday, 11 o'clock. And also we'll be doing I'll be doing live interviews. Like I said, I'll be doing live interviews. I'm coming up with other videos and projects I'm working on. I just want to make sure I stay busy and stay with the content creator. I want to get to a point where I'm like you, where I'm doing um,
Yeah.
daily live streams. Because man, I'm telling you, man, I watch you do it. I'm really amazed at how consistent you are. You're locked in, bro, and I admire that because I'm also on my road to monetization.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure. I want to get there and then continue going and build my community greater and bigger and start to do more things. Because I have plans for my community, like
Yeah.
giveaways and prizes and like meetups. I really want to do. And it's the same for relatable. Like I'm thinking of like there's going to be things. There's going to be shirts we can make,
Yeah.
giveaways. I mean, we have in the Ghetto Cafe, which that's partially the crowd, right? There's such a incredible and loyal community. I also want to give back to them in that kind of way, to where we do like giveaways and fun stuff like that, and involve not just obviously we talk to them and reply, and we have these conversations, great conversations, answer questions, but also involve them a lot more in like
Well, what we can do is we can
you know
we can set up like post or set up an Instagram where they could DM and have questions or topics that they want to talk about that we could go over on the show. Like when we do
for
on
sure.
Wednesday, when we have it like, hey, Love My Life sent this in. She wanted us to talk about this or whatever. You know what I mean? Like it could be a multitude of things. And I think if we spend less time on each topic and do more of a 10 to 15 minutes per topic and maybe have 7, I don't know, I'm just saying 8 topics that we just
For
go
sure.
bullet point, boom, boom, boom. And I wish we could like post them like how they do on like Sports Center, have the topics on the side and cross them out as we go over them. But
Oh, that'd be dope.
that
Yeah,
would be dope as hell. But all of this is just the beginning. This is just the foundation. We're building from here. So we're in a great
for sure.
place. Consistency and staying on it and making sure we're putting effort into it and like with real good topics and stuff that we want to talk about, we'll be fine. We'll be good. We're gonna be good.
I'm excited, man, to continue this thing. I know we're gonna have some episodes non-scripted, some is gonna be scripted as far as like topic. When I say scripted, I mean just having topics ready, right? I
Mhm.
don't mean like me and him following a script to say whatever, because I like the fact that you and I are we have topics to talk about, but we freestyle because I like the joking element also. I want to be able to go in and out of jokes if we want to. I still want to have that loose element of environment of like just have fun.
Right.
You know what I
And
mean?
I think we can still do that. We just structure it up a little bit more and then joke
100%.
in between. You know what I mean? Like, because we have wiggle room to do whatever the hell we want to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm
Like,
gonna figure out how to do that whole chart of the we can view the topics, and
yeah,
then
because I thought
there's the way.
that was on StreamYard. Where you could do the thing on the side. I thought we're in something else. It doesn't matter. We gonna win.
I think we probably can do it here.
Oh, really?
You said we can do something on the side, right? Like
Yeah. Because on StreamYard, it had a thing that was like available where you could put like your topics and then you could pull your videos over that you wanted to like react to or whatever. I thought I saw that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I have StreamYard also. I have both.
Okay.
Now, I use that as EV Mux, what I'm using right now.
Okay.
Because it's cheaper than StreamYard, but I also have the free version of StreamYard.
Okay.
Now, the problem with the free version of StreamYard, the logo gonna be on the screen. That's one, and it doesn't record past 7 minutes.
Oh yeah. No.
But my recordings, it's on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I can download my recordings from YouTube.
Yeah,
for sure, but it does have the EV Mux. I mean, the StreamYard logo on the video. It'll have the logo on the video.
yeah.
That's the only thing. So, and your video won't be in two places. Like I said, I can download it and record on YouTube and download it from there. But that'll be the only thing. So, so I'll see exactly what you're talking about. And if I can do that in EV Mux, I'll figure that out here too.
Okay. Well, we're building, man, and we're a work in progress, and I'm excited and I'm happy. Thank you for doing this, taking on the challenge of building this out. And it's all love all the time, man. God bless, man. And shout out to the people watching in the chat. We're gonna keep doing this. You can find us on Wednesdays at 11 right here. This is Relatable.
Yes, sir. And we out. Peace.